Hello, everyone. My name is LenaKemp, and I will be discussing my capstone project with you from the University of Arizona. So, this project analyzed the human immunodeficient virus diagnosis in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and it's based on residents who received HIV treatment and residents who were still at risk of HIV advancing to the acquired immune deficiency syndrome from 2017 to 2021. So the questions we'll answer are: since the development of HIV testing and treatments, were fewer people at risk of HIV advancement? And are there enough HIV facilities in Metro Atlanta? So all in all, HIV, it's an incurable illness, but the thing is, it's actually more common than most people may think. In the United States alone, many of the southern states to be exact, they have the highest percentages of HIV diagnosis. So because of this, we're specifically looking at Metro Atlanta, Georgia, because it has one of the highest HIV diagnosis rates in the entire country. Overall, this project was to demonstrate how we can use geographic information systems in the health industry while also raising HIV awareness for everyone. So to answer these questions, we will discuss the methodologies I use to solve this problem, the data sets I use, and covering also several map products that I created to illustrate the problem. So for the methodology, viewing the model builder graphic on the right side, you can see all the different types of processes that I used. And I used ArcPro 3.2.1 along with 7 different types of geoprocessing tools throughout the entire process with several different data sets. And overall, I was able to create 6 map products and also 3 web maps and a dashboard that are currently open to the public on ArcGIS Online. So the data sets that I used were 10 data sets total, specifically from AIDS VU, which is from Emory University, and they're actually derived in Atlanta, Georgia. Also using ArcGIS Hub, Census.gov, some Georgia Health Department websites, along with the Georgia Association of Regional Commission, the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, along with the Ryan White program website and OpenStreetMap. So as a whole, the entire study area is 18,627 square miles, and this is comprised of 5 counties. We have Cobb County that's to the west, and we have Fulton County that's covering some of the southern west areas, and it goes all the way to the north. We have Clayton County to the south, DeKalb County to the south and southeast, and then we also have Gwinnett County to the east as well. And overall, there are about 49 cities, with Atlanta being the entire state capital. And Atlanta is actually covered in both Fulton County and in DeKalb County as well. There are also 5 major airports in this area, with Hartsfield-Jackson International being the largest airport within the entire area. And within the years of 2017 to 2021, the average population was about 3.8 million. So now to discuss the problem as a whole, using 122 zip codes that I derived from AIDS VU, I analyzed residents who received treatment and then also residents who did not receive treatment. So what I refer to as treatment is once the residents found out that they were diagnosed with HIV, some of those decided to start receiving treatment, and that goes to the post-exposure prophylaxis. And there are different types of antiretroviral drugs that they can take to basically suppress the HIV virus and prevent it from progressing to AIDS. Now, looking at the maps that I have here, on the left side, we're taking a look at all the cases. So this is showing that out of 38,453 residents that were diagnosed with HIV in 2017 to 2021, the left side of the map is showing all of those who received treatment, and the right side of the map are showing those that, even though they found out they were HIV positive, they did not at that point in time decide to take steps further to prevent HIV from progressing to AIDS. Now, I want to take a moment to show you a dashboard that I created. based on all of the analysis that you see in my presentation. So looking at my other screen, this dashboard here is showing a comparison map of cases versus risk. So this left map here is displaying all of the percentages of residents who receive HIV treatment. And then the map on the right side is showing the residents who were still at risk of HIV progressing to AIDS. Now, something that's pretty cool about this dashboard is that it's interactive. So if we click on the top right corner, this legend will provide us with all the different types of layers that are added inside of this map. And specifically, the part that we want to focus on are the different types of percentages. Not only that, if you are familiar with this area, and let's say you wanted to look at a specific county, looking at the top right area, there is a select county. If you hit the drop down, and let's say we want to look at Cobb County, it will zoom in on both sides of the map so that you can take a look and compare both of the counties side by side. If you are familiar with some of the zip codes, you can do the same thing with the select the zip code drop down. And let's say we decide to choose zip code 30005. It'll zoom into both of the zip codes, both of the polygons on both sides of the map. And we can even click on either map and it will provide us with a brief attribution on specifically what's going on with this zip code. And this is letting us know that at this zip code, there were 73 people still at risk of HIV progressing to AIDS. Whereas on this zip code, this polygon is showing that 27% decided to seek further treatment. So this is a currently open public dashboard for everyone to take a look at. But looking at these two maps here, you can clearly see that there is a huge difference. We have the map on the right side showing a larger number of people that were still at risk of HIV progressing to AIDS. Even looking at our graph here, if we hover over the risk, this is showing us that 72.3% of those people were still at risk, whereas only 27.7% people decided to seek treatment. So that is unfortunate. So the cases to risk ratio here is very meager, and that is very unfortunate. So because of this, I digitized 100 non-HIV facilities, and I also made this public as well. So these 109 HIV facilities display all the different types of local resources that are available in Metro Atlanta, and we'll take a look at that web map as well. So looking at the legend, this is showing us the HIV facilities, which are the red dots, the Atlanta city boundary, and also the county boundaries. And you can choose any of these HIV facilities depending on, what's local to you. For example, if we just decided to click on an HIV facility in Gwinnett County, for example. Once you click on that HIV facility, it's going to open up this attribute that's providing you with the name of the clinic, any other names that it may go by, the treatments that they have there, along with any of the addresses, and then the hours of operation and a phone number. And since this one specifically didn't give a lot of information, there's also a web page that you can go to. Once you click on it, it will take you to the web page of that clinic, and it will provide you with more information that was not specifically there originally when I created the maps, when I created the points. We can click on another one. See this one, for example, immediately I was able to provide the type of treatments that it have. HIV testing, along with PrEP, which is the pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is a specific drug that you can take in order to prevent HIV from progressing when you believe you may have been exposed to HIV. Again, it gives you all the useful information about this specific clinic. You can click on the web page and go to the website to learn more about that specific location. Okay. So now transitioning back to the presentation, even though 109 HIV facilities may sound like a lot, it really isn't. Because if you look at all 5 of these counties here, you can see that it seems to be some of these desert areas. So I took it a step further to create a distance map that is basically examining whether or not there are close enough facilities for all of the residents, because not everybody owns their own personal vehicle. So what we're looking at here is there are these parameters or these buffers around each HIV facility, and its distance is from 0.5 miles all the way to 2 miles, because typically the average person is willing to walk about 10 to 40 minutes to get to where they're trying to get to. But as you can see, there still is inadequate facility coverage for this area. So then I am familiar with Georgia's Metro line, so I decided to add an overlay of the Metro Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority. And this is showing all of the different bus and rail systems throughout Metro Atlanta. Now, still looking at this, there are still some inadequate coverages, because if we look near the borders of the counties, you can still see that there is still inadequate coverage. And these areas that we're looking at here, they're not all rural. There is a high and dense population in these areas. So some things that could help those that don't have their own private transportation is to maybe extend out the MARTA line, or maybe even provide some kind of mobile transportation for those that don't have their personal vehicles. Now, with reviewing all of the information here, and if we take a look at the thematic statements that I introduced to you earlier, to answer them, since the development of HIV testing and treatments, were fewer people at risk of HIV advancement from 2017 to 2021? And the answer is no, because only 27.7% received treatment, and then there was still the other 72.3% who were still at risk. Okay, there could be so many different kind of reasons for this. It could be because residents are unaware. We've also saw that there could be due to people not having public transportation. They could be afraid. It could be psychological, and they could just not be aware of what's going on. And for the second thematic statement, are there enough HIV facilities in Metro Atlanta? No, there are not enough HIV facilities. Okay, we saw that near the county borders, there were still some deserted areas. And so again, maybe the public transit needs to extend their routes out, or come up with some kind of mobile um, process, or some kind of mobile system to help those get to their appointments, so that they can do whatever they can do in order to prevent HIV from progressing to AIDS by basically suppressing HIV. Now, before I end my presentation, I just want to take this moment to just thank everyone who assisted me with my capstone. Like Doctors Chris, Jennifer, and Yoga, learned a lot from your class, and it definitely helped me to build these processes. And then I also want to thank Lori Krug. She is the project manager of the AIDS and STI info line in Fulton County Health Department, along with my friends, my coworkers, and then also my husband. But this concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?